Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to be discussing my theories as to not if but early when Despero could return. If it could be in a crossover and what I think it should be or could be in the future of the Arrowverse, the Flash, whatever show he returns on. I'm assuming the Flash because why wouldn't he? But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, hit like one down below, subscribe for notifications on. Let's get right into the video. So at the end of 805, the end of Armageddon, Despero said that he will return and that Barry will die. You know, we've had thoughts of the same thing, and look where he is now. Like, he's coming back later this season. We know that. We've had several villains return who said that exact same thing or very close to it. So I think it's fair to say Despero is returning. But when and how could he be? Now, we don't know if there's a crossover in Season 9 or a 5-part event again. All we know is Season 9 is approximately 15 episodes. It could be extended, but Grant signed on for 15 episodes, meaning the season's more likely 15 episodes. That are 16, who knows, but it'll be 15 right now. It could always change, but I would be surprised if it did. So with that being said, we could have the possibility of a crossover event, an interlude that's 3 parts, and then the rest of the season be a graphic novel. I wouldn't necessarily mind that. I would actually kind of like that, to get another crossover in. Because we do know that Eric Wallace is trying to get Tyler Hoechlin, however you say it, who plays Tyler, who plays Clark Kent, Superman, and Superman and Lois, who is the best Superman actor ever. And you want to argue with me on that? Argue with me on it. I don't care. You Snyder cult activists, like you want to argue Henry Cavill's best Superman. I don't really care. I've already done a full video saying Tyler's the best. Go watch that video and leave a hate comment on that, like some of you already did. At least from you Snyder cult a-holes. So nonetheless, it would make perfect sense for Despero to return and for it to be in a crossover event. And practically, I wouldn't mind if they brought Superman in to help fight him, because maybe Despero comes back, he's more powerful than what he was before, so Barry needs an extra hand. And what better to bring in than an almighty god, the most powerful being in the entire multiverse, Superman. And I mean, you had the best actor to play him, and Grant and Tyler work great together. It'd be great chemistry like Barry and Oliver working together, or Barry and Kara. I mean, they both do amazing scenes together. We've never had a crossover with just Flash and Superman. We've had one with Flash and Arrow, Flash and Supergirl. So it would make perfect sense for Flash, Superman, and Lois, or just Flash and Superman, to cross over to fight a big bad, and I think Despero would be the perfect one. Now, again, reusing the villain, people would hate on that. Again, people hate on this show for stupid crap that makes 0 sense. So if the writers really don't care, they can go down the route of Season 9 having a crossover event, maybe with Flash, Superman, and Lois having 1 or 2 parts each, like Part 1, Part 2 on Flash, and then it goes gets Superman, and then the last 2 parts on Superman and Lois in 3. I wouldn't mind that. I think it would be very interesting to see. With that all being said, I do think that there will be a crossover event in Season 9 with Flash, Superman, and Lois, because Eric Wallace is really pushing for that. And with COVID stuff lifting, with it getting more lighter now, I think it would be the great time, if whenever they start filming Flash Season 9, that we get Tyler on the Flash. I know Tyler's been wanting to go on there for a while. I know Grant's been wanting Tyler on. So I think it would be the perfect time to do it before the show ends. We don't know Season 9's the end of the show, obviously, but I think we'll find out in 10 or so days. But I do think it's fair to say that the Flash can go easily to Season 10, without a doubt. And what they do from there is really up to the writers, assuming Season 9 is going to be good. If the writing in Season 8 stays up in Season 9, they can make it to Season 10. I feel like if the writing dips in Season 9, we're going to be dealing with some stuff. And it won't be good stuff. But I do think Eric Wallace is really showing us what he can do. Because obviously the last 2 years since he came on, COVID kind of screwed everything up. So, from season 6B, the back half of season 6, and all season 7 was pretty trash, pretty garbage storylines, and it was just because of COVID precautions. I mean, really, you look at season 6A, which was amazing. Not as good as, season 8, but season 8 really is pulling in hardball with all these episodes. There hasn't really been one bad episode out of the bunch of the 14 that we're about to get, 14 being Wednesdays. I mean, I guess the 13 that we have now, I know some people will be like, we're not on 14 yet. Whatever. The 13 episodes we have right now, I don't have a problem with any of them. There's no episode where I'm like, oh, that episode was horrible. This episode had bad writing. There's not really an episode where I'm like that. Like, season 7, I could say all those episodes. Season 1, even season 1 and 2, I would say, okay, this episode needed a little bit more writing and better writing. And season 3, 4, 5, and 6, I think we can all agree there are definitely episodes that needed better writing. But I think season 8 is literally the best season for writing aspects. I wouldn't say it's the best season in the show. I think that still belongs to season 1 and 2. But if this stays up in season 9, I think we're going to be looking at a very good possibility of the Flash going to season 10. Which would leave even more possibilities for Superman and Lois, or just Superman in general, coming to the Flash and Barry and Clark working together on the screen for once, instead of it being Bear and Kara or Bear and Oliver or Supergirl and Superman, instead of those two. Like, we need Clark and Barry. Especially with Barry, with the power that he is now, with him being, like, really leveled up, with him having more confidence in himself. I think we need a really big bad, whether it's Despero powered up, or we need someone more powerful than Despero. But if Despero comes back more powerful, that actually, like, can cause a legitimate, true threat. I'm not saying he didn't before, but Barry could handle on his own. I think to bring Superman into something, we needed to cause a threat to Barry that he can't stop on his own, that he really truly needs help, and not just to take away his speed because he's losing his mind or whatever. Even though that's great, I loved it, but focus on the big bad here. Barry could take on Despero on his own. He did. We saw that in 805. We saw that in 801, 802. We saw that. Barry was able to manage himself alone fighting Despero. He didn't ask for anyone to help fight him. He was able to handle that on his own. So I think either Despero comes back more powered up, or maybe we bring in Doomsday or Darkseid. I would love to see one of those two. But definitely something that would threaten both Clark and Barry to where they need each other's help to fight whatever threat. I think that would be the best thing to do for this hopeful, very good crossover that I would hope would be happening sooner rather than later. So, yeah, those are my opinions, theories, whatever. Let me know in the comments down below your theories and opinions about, do you think, well, not really if, but when, assuming they're going to uphold that tease we got at the end of Armageddon, with Despero saying, I will come back and you will die, to Barry, when do you think he will come back? And also, do you think Superman would be involved? And could this be the crossover Superman, Lois, and Flash to finally connect? And have that big, amazing event with just Barry and Clark in it. So, let me know in the comments down below your opinions about that. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Have a good night. Stay safe. And I will see you guys on my next video. Bye, guys.